Accountant. And man, happy Monday to you. Happy Monday to you. And thank God it's Monday. I'm excited. It's another Monday that we get to come and share some awesome thoughts. And so today it's going to be a little bit different, man. Was just thinking, and I had a question, and it was surrounding this word that's in the title, movement. What is it? What is it to you? Have you ever been a part of a movement? Have you ever started a movement? You know, I think that's the question today that we're going to jump into. I think we may even talk about it all week. I may even take it on for the next 30 days. I don't know, but something in my spirit just told me to start with movement today. It's Monday. We're April the 8th, 2019, 8 days into the second quarter of 2019. And maybe it's time for some form of a movement. Let's go and check out what the dictionary has in a definition. So we've got one definition that says an act of moving, free movement of labor, an arrival or departure of an aircraft, the activities and whereabouts of someone during a particular period of time, movements, general activity or bustle. Let's see, the moving parts of a mechanism, especially a clock or watch. A change or development. Then this is the one that I really like. It says a group of people working together to advance their shared political, social, or artistic ideas. Movement. Movement. A group of people working together to advance their shared political, social, or artistic ideas. I'm going to go jump into one of my great books, and I believe there's a text that talks about people working together. And I'm going to find it because I think that gives great context to what we will be talking about today. I need to close some windows, I think. Let's look and see what's open. Let's close that. That's closed. All right, still having a little bit of a challenge. Let's see, what else do we have? Okay, I think we might be good to go. We're there. Let's find this text. Let's find this text. All right. Didn't find it. But there's a text in the good book that talks about where there are two gathered, much can happen. And that's mainly, and I think that definition is, it's a paraphrase. Where there are two gathered, much can happen. And so a movement, when we looked at the definition of movement, and we saw that the best definition of movement that we want to look at is the one that says a group of people working together to advance their shared political, social, or artistic ideas. You could put religious, you could put any sort of thing in there, but a group of people working together. Hey, good morning. How are you? And movement, I think that there are all sorts of things happening. Social media has been a movement. Facebook has been a movement. Facebook has created a movement of people that they will come together and share all their ideas across a platform. Then YouTube and all of these places have created their own movements so that other people can share ideas. And so just in the context of just thinking about a movement for you, for me, is there something you wanted to do, or is there been something burning inside of you that says, man, I should really do something about some particular issue, or man, if I could just work with a group of people, maybe we could accomplish something. I remember when I played basketball, coming up, man, it was fun. And I'm gonna tell you what was good. Whenever the team played, and it was like we were all on the same page. We would blow teams out. Games would be won because we were on the same page. No one was trying to circumvent the other. Everyone was playing their part, and we would win games. But when I was on teams that it's kind of like everyone's fighting for position, where maybe one person is thinking, man, I should take more shots, or this other person's thinking, man, I should take more shots, and maybe they're not, the defense isn't working. I'm gonna tell you, that's when I could really see. I was recently playing on a team, and we had one game where we came together. I'm saying one, literally, and it was our best game. We played the best team, which we hadn't been playing good all season. We were the 8th seed in the playoffs. We played the best team, and we beat them. We beat the best team because we were on the same page the whole game. We didn't have any breakdowns. So then when we played the next playoff game, see what happens when sometimes when you start something and you have the success, if you don't really pay attention to how it happened, then you may think that you was better than what you were. And so when we played the next game, this team wasn't even as good as that other team. And so here it is, we're playing this other team. They had some different parts, and it was a different team, so we had to make different adjustments, and the game was coming a little bit easy. We could see that we could win the game early. We didn't, at least I didn't see how we should lose until until I just saw a pattern of the players just weren't thinking. Then we got off the same page. And because we weren't on the same page, the next thing you know, the other team takes the lead and we lose the game. Now, that's not a movement. That's just a team playing. But a movement is similar to a team. A movement is just like 5 players on a basketball court, all on one accord, all thinking, okay, Jay's going to do this, and and this other person's going to do that, and that other person's going to do that. And maybe sometimes, like if you watch basketball and you watch the really good players, the other teams, like the teams are looking for the best players. They're looking for LeBron, they're looking for Kobe, they're looking for Dwayne Wade, they're looking for their best player because that best player is leading them. And so they want to make sure that best player has the ball. But it's nothing like seeing a team where you could tell that someone else is trying to take the best player's role. Or you can watch a team where no one knows who the best player is. They all think they're the best player. Those are the worst teams to be on because they can't win. Because no one has decided to humble themselves. Everyone is saying, well, I should be the best scorer. I should be able to do this, or I should be able to do that. When it doesn't work that way. See, in a movement, all parts have to be coming together. Everyone has to recognize the strengths, the weaknesses of the other person, and we have to be willing to take the criticism. Hey, Jay, well, I think you're really good at this. Maybe you shouldn't do that. And then, and then the other person likewise. But we're all working on one accord. See, the funny thing about life is that it's not as hard as we think. And the reason I say that is that it's all wrapped up in this word movement. If you could get a couple of people together, just a couple of people, you wouldn't even need a whole lot of people. Yeah, I need a lot of people to have a movement. Yeah, you do. But a movement always starts with 1, 2, 3. If you got a couple of people together and then you came together and you said, hey, what do we agree on? See, we have to agree. What is it that you want, and then find out we all want the same thing. What? Man, you want what I want, and I want what you want, and you want what I want, and I want what you want. Absolutely. I can guarantee you, if I sat in a room with 3 people, we would all find that we all want the same thing. If I sat in a room with 1 person, we can guarantee that we would all want the same thing. I could sit in a room with 100 people and we would find out that we all want the same things. Now, here's the thing. There are a few things that we may not agree on, but I bet you we could find at least 1 or 2 things that we would agree on. In that group, that 1, that 2, that 100, that 1,000 could all work together. See, that's what a movement is about. It's about sharing one thing, really one typically, sharing one thing in common, and we all realizing that that one thing is more important than any one person. That is a movement. See, a movement starts with an idea. It's like, man, I've got this idea. Here's my idea. And this is real life. Man, there's a way that people could work together that I could probably help you. You could help this person. That person could help that person. That person could help that person. And I'm thinking that maybe you and I, your friend, then their friend, and then their friend could all work together. Find a cause that's worth, look, that's worth giving up our time. Find a cause. And I'm going to tell you, there's a lot of causes out here, man. There's lots of causes. And I'm going to tell you the best cause. The best causes to start with are not just the nonprofit causes, the one that, oh, I want to go give my time and help the people. Absolutely. See, the best causes are really clearing up whatever issues you may have in your life. You clear up your issues. Let's clear up, what issue do you have and I have that we could come and agree on? And then we'd agree. And then let's clear those issues up. Because once we can get those issues cleared, then we can go and then we can go find other people that maybe have those same issues and help them. But let's get ours cleared up first. Let's do that. See, a movement, shared idea. It could be social, it could be religious, it could be, political, it could be anything. It could be financial, it could be health, it could be in the families, it could be anything. What's your movement? What's your cause? What issue would you like to rid yourself of? I bet you there's other people with the same one. I bet you. What is a movement? How would you start it? All you need is another person that would agree with you. And then from there, hey man, I know another person that may have the same issue. Let's bring them in. Let's talk to them. Let's see how if that person agrees with us, if that person agrees with us, then we have a 3. Do you see where this is going? You see how this works, a movement? See, a movement is worth looking into. The reason why I'm sharing this today is that a friend and I, we've been talking about a movement. I just wanted to share it with other people. I wanted to ask you what movement is. I'm not asking you to join mine. I haven't spoken to you. I don't know what your issue is. But have you ever thought of one for yourself? Have you ever done that? See, because where 2 or 3 are gathered, really in the name of him, much can happen. Much. Why is that statement there? Why would that statement be written? See, that statement is written simply because it's a truth. That's why it's written. It's truth. It's not because the writer just decided to write it, but it's truth. Have you ever been a part of something that when you was with one other person, man, we just worked together great? Yeah. I'm gonna tell you, basketball has always been my safe haven. Coming up, growing up, that's where I found the most joy. I found joy, man. It was fun just playing. We would spend hours on end. My brother, it would just be me and him. It would just be me and my brother. We played all the time. And we would just constantly play and play and play. Then we find others. And I remember when we had our squad, it could just be 5 of us. Normally, we would have a 5 that we could travel around with, and we wouldn't lose. I wouldn't call that a movement. That's a team, but a movement does start with a team. It starts with, picking the right players that all can see the right things. What is a movement to you? I'm not going to spend any more time on this today. I think I've spent a lot of time on it. I've defined movement, a group of people working together to advance a shared idea. It could be any idea. But I think you should think about it for yourself. Think about a movement that you could start with another person, someone that could have a shared idea. And then, but here's the kicker. Here is the kicker as I wrap up today. Here's the kicker. This movement, it has to be worth everything for it to work. Like, what are you talking about? It has to literally be worth everything. For it to last and for it to work, you have to be willing to put everything on the line for this movement, whatever it is. See, this is why movements don't last, some of them. But when you can get people that's willing to go down with the ship, is what they call that, or even die for their movements, those movements won't ever die. There's one movement in particular that's the biggest movement ever. You may be familiar with it. And it's the one that my mentor started. Young rabbi, many years ago, 2,000 years ago. He's young, man. It's a 30-year-old guy. Started this movement. He was so passionate about his movement. He was willing to die for his movement. And because he was willing to die, others were willing to die for the movement. And this movement has spanned thousands of years, a couple of thousand years already. It's the biggest movement ever. You're probably familiar with it. You may even be a part of the movement in some form or fashion. But it's the biggest movement that's ever started on this planet. And it started with an idea. It started with one person. It didn't start big. He had 12 that hung with him. He had 12 people he picked. And that movement is still going strong. What movement could you start or be a part of that you would willing to put everything on the line for? That's the question for the day. Think about it, man, and get out there and find a friend. Usually friends are great people to work with. Sometimes you have to find people you don't know. I love working with people that I don't know, because I think that when you can find people that you don't know, I think you cut through a lot faster. I think you cut through a lot. You get right to where we got to go a lot faster when you find people you don't know. At least that's my perspective. Sometimes when you find people it's getting through the old stuff. Now we're trying to get to the new. But when you find people that you don't know, then you can probably get right to it faster. But the thing is, if a movement is something that you could see for yourself being a part of one or even starting one, I think you should think about it. And I think you should really take it serious for something in your life that you want, or something in your life that's burning and that you want to do. Find it. And then when you find it, ask yourself, am I willing to go down with the ship? Am I willing to lay it all on the line? And if that is a yes, then you've got one. And I suggest you get started. All right, guys, I appreciate you for joining me today. Just a quick broadcast on what a movement is. And, I suggest get out there, think about it for yourself. Look, if you've got any ideas and you want to run them past me, I would be more than willing to listen. And if you have any questions, definitely hit me up. You can leave a comment. You can shoot me an inbox here on Facebook. But more importantly, get out there, start your movement, or join the movement. God bless you. Take care.